Welcome to the Grow Pair podcast, and today we have Kyle Jantjies. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Good enough. Welcome to the show, dude.
Thanks for having me, Devin.
Good to have you. Bro, you are a very interesting character. Number one, you are a lot younger than I thought you were. Or at least you look a lot younger, unless you are like 60 years old, but you just look like you're in your 20s.
How old do you think I am?
I don't know. I didn't check. So like I saw your body of work and what you've done. And then when you pulled into the parking lot just now, I was like, yo, this bruh's 20 years younger than he should be. How old are you?
I'm 28.
28?
I'm 28.
And you've written 16 books?
Yeah.
No, bro. You're like an overachiever or something.
It's quicker than you think.
Is it quicker than I think? Oh, okay. We must talk afterwards. I've always wanted to write a book, but I've never, I don't know. I started twice and never ever managed to get past like chapter 2.
Been there before, actually.
Okay, so you're a proudly South African author.
Proudly.
Proudly. Right? What is it that you write? What is your genre? What is your style? Or is it multiples?
So I do write multiple genres, but my main focus is on fantasy. So I love epic fantasy, high fantasy. That's what most of my books are in. I do have one Christian fiction novel.
Okay.
I do have 2 business books based on writing books, because I do book coaching.
Yeah.
And then I have one adventure comedy novel that turned out actually quite well.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, cool. What got you into writing, mate?
I never realized it at the time, but ever since I think grade 8, I was always into telling stories. But in grade 8, I had this idea for my own Pokemon game, because I was really into Pokemon at that time, I was into Pokemon at that time, Visual Boy, Game Boy.
Yeah.
And I wanted to write my own Pokemon story, try that. Didn't work out, obviously. But in matric, I had this small little tablet. And I didn't have a laptop, I didn't have a phone. But I had this idea for a book of anthropomorphic animals that use swords and, bow and arrows and those kind of things. And they had and this is the idea that I had, and I kept talking about it to my brother constantly. And in my mind, I have this belief that if you have an idea that you just can't get out of your head, that's an idea from God and you need to pursue it.
There we go.
So I took the idea and I said, okay, let me just write this out. And as I was writing, I realized, I actually enjoy writing. So I wrote out the book. It took me a month. It was only like 44,000 words, but it took me a month.
What does that work out to in pages?
About 200 and something pages.
44,000 words? It doesn't... I don't know, 200 and something pages almost sounds more than 44,000 words.
It's not actually. You'll be surprised.
Because, we're going to probably talk like 50 or 100,000 words today alone.
So I drew maps, for all of things. And I thought, this book is the winner. I'm going to be so rich based on this book.
J.R.R. Tolkien, step aside.
I sent it through to multiple publishers and they all rejected me. Completely rejected me. That was 2013.
Yeah.
2014, I decided, okay, let me start writing another book. Again, it was trash. Third book I wrote again, that was 2016, 2017. I wrote that. Trash. Again, a lot of publishers rejected me. Until I watched a video called The Power of Planning. Okay. And I realized at that time, I haven't actually been plotting out my books. It's just basically I have this idea, let me write it out. That's what I've been doing. And so I decided, okay, I was busy writing a 4th book. I deleted everything. I started planning it out properly, structuring characters, plot, all of those things, maps. Rewrote that book. And that's the first book that I got published in 2020. So that was 7 years after I actually started writing that I got my first book published.
Okay, so you just said earlier, it's easier than you think. And then you tell me, bro, I just wrote 4 books and they all got thrown out. Take me through, I'm genuinely interested because I read a heck of a lot. I enjoy the fantasy genre. I need to buy a couple of your books, and I need I need to get my hands on them. I mean, I don't read as much as I used to, but what you talk about that structure, that planning, all of that. What goes into writing a book, like front to back? I mean, you don't have to spend 2 hours explaining, but I mean, what goes into that process? If there's some 16-year-old kid who's listening, and says, "Well, I want to write a book," but is 13 years ago, whatever it was.
Writing a book is actually the easy part. I'll talk about the hard part later, but the first step that I always want to say is you need to plan it out. There are two types of writers. They're what we call the gardeners and the architect.
Okay.
Right? I lean more towards the architect. So a gardener will write out of their mind, and then they spend a year or 6 months just editing, trying to get the story that they wrote to be coherent. The architect is the person who makes a blueprint first, so they plan out everything, and then they start writing.
Oh, yeah, so I'm a gardener. That would be me. Yeah.
So I started out as a gardener. I realized this is what making my book trash, and then I went through the architect. So like I wrote a 7-book series. Before I wrote any of the books, I planned all 7 books out before I wrote book 1, and that was that's how, so that I can foreshadowing and all those things. But the first thing, especially with the fantasy genre, the first thing I always say is draw a map. Because remember, a fantasy is you in a completely different world. So draw a map. Even if you're not putting the map in the book, draw a map so that you at least know this is where my talking points are going to be happening, where I'm going to be traveling, where my characters are based. This is how I can build a story around this setting. So draw a map. Fantasy focuses heavily on world building.
Yes.
Especially if you, right? So there's 2 types of stories. There's the stories that focus on world building, and there's stories that focus on characters. Like if you're romance, it's definitely going to be characters.
Yes.
But if you're fantasy, it's mainly world building, and the characters just build that world better.
Right. I'm with you.
So if you're going to be doing a world building genre like fantasy or sci-fi, you first want to draw a map. After that, you want to plot out your story. So I have a main, what I do, so I do book coaching. And what I do is I tell them, we want 10 talking points. Because if you think of a story that you've read that you love, let's say Harry Potter, you don't speak about everything in the book. You speak about 10 main things in that book, and the rest of the book is just building up those 10 main points.
100%.
So I say, you choose your 10 talking points that you want people to talk about. And now we figure out how we're going to build up to those 10 talking points.
Sure.
We talk about, okay, these are the main chapters that we're going to have. These are going to be the world that we're going to build. Is there a weather system we need to know? Is there a magic system that we need to know? Or what are the cultures in the books? What are the storylines? You need to have your main characters. Your main characters need to have side characters, and those side characters must have their own backstories so that you can flesh out those characters also.
Sounds easy.
Because if you think about all these things, everybody, let's say even if you take an anime, Naruto. Let's say you take Naruto, right? Everybody's favorite character is not Naruto. There's multiple different, and because the reason is because all those characters have their own backstories also.
Yes.
So if you want a good story, you need to make sure that your side characters even have backstories of their own.
Yes.
So you flesh out as much as you can. Your main story has side arcs to it to flesh out these characters and to flesh out the main story as well. So a lot of those things I put all in the planning.
Yeah.
Because once you've planned out every chapter, what you want to do, you know how many scenes in each chapter. I usually do 4 scenes per chapter. Then it's easy to write because I already know what I want to do. It's just basically now I let my artistic thing flow. But the planning before that is the important part.
Okay. It's interesting how you framed the whole thing, because the previous guest that was here earlier today, I was chatting with her, and we were just talking about, like, if you've got sort of like riverbanks, you can, and you've got that barrier almost. Yeah, it doesn't hold you in, but the discipline almost is freedom. Because if you've got riverbanks to go, you can go nuts inside those riverbanks, but you know where your boundary is. Exactly, and that gives you like I think a bit of something to bounce off of. It makes, I mean, like for myself, my brain runs all over the bloody place. I'm going to try to write a book. I'm thinking about magic, but maybe now I'm doing sci-fi, But, and trying to see what'll work. But that makes a hell of a lot of sense.
I know, because I'm helping a pastor now write his book. And so what I did with him was I told him, okay, we talked about what the idea he has, and I told him, your homework for next week is I need you to bring 8 chapter ideas. So that's what you must bring me, 8 chapter ideas. With each chapter, I need a main scripture, I need a story from scripture, and then I need a story from your own life. So then you have 3 talking points per chapter. And then he brought that to me, and then we figured out, okay, how are we going to structure this, in which place? Because once he has that structure, I can just tell him, okay, this scene I want done by this week. This is how much words I expect from you. And it'll be so much easier for him to write, knowing this is what he wants from the book, because it's already plotted out.
That must be an interesting experience, giving a pastor homework, telling him, right, this is what I expect from you.
Sometimes you have to scale them out.
Shame the poor guy mustn't know what's happening to him. Oh man, that is fantastic. Okay, cool. So a little bit of structure, a little bit of whatnot. Yeah. Tell me a bit more about your coaching. You're not, I'm assuming you're not doing it out of the goodness of your heart. You are, this is an income stream for you?
Yes. So I used to do it out of the goodness of my heart. So for the last 4 years, I was a high school teacher.
Oh, wow.
I taught geography, life science, and mathematics.
Okay.
And I don't actually have a teacher's degree. I have a master's degree in biology. But I was teaching for 4 years while I was writing. And I got a lot of messages, especially on my Facebook page. Kyle, I love your stories. I have this idea for my own book. How do I write? Kyle, I just wrote a book. How do I publish? I get a lot of these stories. And I've been helping people, not knowing this could actually be a viable business.
Yes.
Right. So I didn't charge before that.
This is how some of the best businesses are built. Bro.
Right. At the end of the last year, because I don't have a teacher's degree, the WCD found and says, I can't teach anymore because they're doing budget cuts. And because I have a master's degree, I get paid as much as a deputy principal. So they're going to have to cut me out. So I left the school at the end of last year. And this year, January, I got an idea for a curriculum on writing books, right? And I thought, okay, this would be good to implement as in a university or thing. And my manager told me, no, rather go private, because if you're going to have to go into university, you're going to need all this formal paperwork, it's a whole lot of stress.
Lots of hoops to jump through.
So go do it privately. And so I decided, okay, let me do it. And now my idea is book writing for career professionals. So professionals who want to boost their career through a book. That's mainly what I focus on. So I mainly do nonfiction. And my business is called Your Book Business Card. So nice. I wrote 2 business books this year based on that. So the one is called Your Book is Better Than a Business Card. That book is free on Amazon. And then I have another book called The Book Business Card. How to generate leads on autopilot using a book. So if you're a coach or a speaker and you want people and you want to get more clients, you can use your book to get leads, and you can actually quantify how many leads are coming in just off your book. And that's what I do this year. July 3rd, I'm actually having a free masterclass. So online, anybody want to check my LinkedIn, they can go check that out. It's on that. How do you get leads on autopilot using your book?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Jeez, bro. So you're a bit of an achiever, because I mean you're young, but you're operating. You've done a lot. Is this coming out of necessity? Is it coming out of passion? Is it a mix?
So it's a mix. I've always wanted to be rich.
There we go. Yes, sorry, we got the same dream.
I've always wanted to be rich. The thing is, I'm from Mitchell's Plein, right? And I know I'm an intelligent person, and then I see a lot of these people who's not as intelligent as me, and they're not as golden as me, but they got the money, you know.
Yeah.
And I think, why do they have it and I don't have it?
Yeah.
So I'm pushing. So I pursued biology as a career path. So that's why I have my master's in biology. But I want to make money, you know. I want to make money. I wanna retire my mother. I want to be able to take care of my family. I don't want to think about funds.
Yes.
Money should never be an option for me to chase after certain things.
Yeah.
And that's basically why I push so hard for many things. So like in 2021, I had a goal: write and publish 10 books in 1 year. That is my goal. I didn't make it to 10.
I'm thinking about the thumbnail I'm going to do for this video, and I'm going to put Overachiever in like bright green or something. It's going to be the thing that's on your.
So I wanted to write 10 books in 1 year. I got to 9.
Yes.
Right. I got to 9 because
only 9.
Yeah. But book 9, I was exhausted because it's basically every night you're sitting and writing. Because it's basically, I have to publish a book every month, basically.
Yeah, that's insane,
bro. So every night, and I'm working full time at the same, and I'm working on my master's degree, and I'm thinking, okay, so what I did was from 10 o'clock till 2 a.m. in the morning. That's my writing time. Just write as much as I could, and it's the mindset is just I have so many ideas that I want to get out.
Yeah.
Not only that, I have money that I want to make. Not only that, I have so many things I want to pursue. I don't just want to write books. I don't just want to be a biologist. I don't just want to be a speaker. I want to do so many things. I have so many dreams. One of my things is I want to be a WWE wrestler. You know, I love WWE. That's on my bucket list. At least one time in the ring. You know.
Hey, Donald Trump got into the ring once, so why can't you?
That's on my bucket list. If I get there, it's something I can check off. I want to go. I want to be an explorer. One of my goals is I want to go to the Congo for a month for an expedition. That's one of my goals. But the problem is money is a problem, you know.
Yep.
You need funds to do all these things.
Yeah.
I want to host the world's biggest Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. You need money for these things. You know?
Yeah.
So all these dreams that I want to chase, a lot of them costs money.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to make money.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
Tell me about what's behind the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament? What? What's the purpose? Is that just something like, I want to achieve this and that's it? Or is it, is there something deeper? It doesn't have to be. I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, but
there might be something deeper. I don't know.
You might have to figure that one out.
I just love Yu-Gi-Oh. So I got into Yu-Gi-Oh in grade 4. Grade 4, right? Didn't have money for my own cards. My mother said she's not going to spend money on cards.
Yeah.
Right? But all my friends had cards. So what I did was, when people are sorting out their decks.
Yes.
And they'll see, okay, this card doesn't work well on my deck, and they'll just throw it away. Then I'll take all their throwaway cards and make up my own deck. Right? Deck, yeah. That's how I got into Yu-Gi-Oh. I think grade 6 for my birthday, she finally bought me Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. But I never actually got into tournaments and things.
Yes.
And the people that I'm usually connected with, they don't play Yu-Gi-Oh. Right? So, but I know. But always when I watch the anime, I always think, if those dual discs were real,
oh yeah,
I tell you, the whole world would be into this.
Oh yeah.
Because you'd see, it's not just now make believe. You'll actually see these things.
Yeah. But look how nuts Pokemon Go went.
Exactly.
And it was, look, I was never a big Pokemon fan or anything else, but I think I'm just older than the whole Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh kind of sort of the generation, right? So I was Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
So, and even then, I was watching Dragon Ball Z. I was working full time.
Oh, okay.
When Dragon Ball Z first came on, like on SABC in the afternoons, I used to finish work at 4:30 and it would come on at 5 and I would normally tear in at home, 3 minutes past 5 and slide in, and thankfully every episode normally was 5 minutes of Goku going, so,
and flashbacks.
Flashbacks. But it's, like you say, if that was any kind of reel.
Yeah.
And this is maybe where the fantasy thing. I enjoy fantasy books. If that was real, damn, I'd be in there, bro, in the thick of it. Like,
and that's something that I want to invest in.
Yeah.
Make these things actually real.
Yeah.
Because I've seen how far technology has grown, right? I don't have the expertise to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to hire people who can do it.
For sure.
You know.
So now, are you? Sorry, I'm like jumping in here now. Are you? Say, if you're going to do a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, are you wanting to do it in its current format, the way people play it now, or are you wanting to do it differently? Like, and then when you're trying to push it out, are you? Like, so I look at during COVID, I started my YouTube channel. It was awful. I did terrible things, but I thought about challenging myself. I enjoy challenging myself.
Good.
So I was like, can I walk 3 kilometers a day in my house? And so I did, you know, like in and out the house. My wife thought I was crazy. My neighbors thought I was cooked. I took a 2 kg bag of rice and I counted it.
What?
Yeah, it took me like 16 or 17 hours. I counted every grain of rice, you know, and like I did a whole bunch of stupid stuff, sort of thinking that I could become, say, Mr. Beast or something similar.
Okay. Yes.
So like when I think now, you saying, oh, I want to do a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, you know what I see is Mr. Beast. Right, you know, like going, guys, you know, he always does that camera shot from the top, you know, he's like, today we're doing this and this and this. That's where I was going with. So one of my ideas during COVID was rock, paper, scissors. And I thought, geez, wouldn't this be cool to play a rock, paper, scissors tournament?
Yeah.
You know, like COVID style, 100 people.
Yeah.
And then about 4 weeks after I thought of the idea, and I was writing up an invitation to send out to a whole bunch of people, Mr. Beast put his video out doing exactly that, but he did it all fancy and live and graphics, and I was like, okay, cool, you know, ideas are there. But is that where you're going with it, or are you trying to do something different? I mean, I was listening to you talk, and I'm looking at my idea of what I think your idea is. That makes sense. Yeah.
So I love tournaments.
Okay.
I love tournaments.
Yeah.
I write tournaments into my books and all these things. You've seen season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Original Duel.
I might have
Duel
seen
City.
it, but I don't.
Right?
I haven't watched a lot.
Kaiba hosts a tournament.
Sure.
So I'm thinking, okay, let's say we do something in South Africa where in each province we have people collecting something that they have to find people to duel, collect something from them, but it has to be collect something and then they all congregate. You can congregate if you find, you know, you get all the things. It tells you the location where you must meet.
Yeah.
It gives you a map and you meet there. But the prize needs to be so big that everybody wants to join.
Yeah.
And that's what the thing that I wanted to do.
So this could go onto an app or something. Like, I mean, this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm thinking, okay, if I want to pursue technology, there's where you can do on a map. Like you have a mat, and then the mat senses the card, and then takes it to maybe a television screen where it shows the monsters coming up. That's one way. We can build the platform where you do on the platform, and you can see the holograms. And from there, you advance also to the to dual discs or something where you can do it remotely. But
that is cool.
It's something just that I want to pursue these technologies where everybody's just into it. I don't have the expertise, so I'm going to have to hire people. I'll just be the money. You guys be the expertise. That's something that I want to pursue. I tried to make games. So I tried to learn Unity. And so I made one game. Terrible game, but I made it.
That's how you do everything. Bro. My first episode was a shocker, like on this. You know,
exactly. So you just try these
you
things.
Learn, you get better.
I've been practicing with Blender, 3D software. Because basically I just want to try these things out and I enjoy it, but it takes a lot of time.
Yes.
Unless you're sitting and working on these things, you're not going to perfect it. So rather let me perfect what I can and pay others to do what they know what's best. I'll be just the idea man.
I like that, bro.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Okay, so you're looking to hit your idea, one that pays, and then from there you're building out.
Exactly.
I mean that's entrepreneurship in its whole thing. I mean, I do exactly the same thing. I've got my little podcast. I've got my little media business that I sort of pretend to do social media, and that's like my side hustle. And then I've taken money from that and I buy a business, you know, or buy into a business,
Exactly.
you know. And that's what I've done. I've bought into a business. I'm busy negotiating another one, you know, and that's how you do it. And then each of those little things makes you a little bit more money. It means you can do something bigger and bigger and bigger.
But you need to find that one thing that you can.
Yes. Yeah, I think leaning on your strengths is like a good, because I mean, like I look at myself, I'm not a designer by any stretch of the imagination. You know, I can maybe build a website, the structural bit of it, but I'm not a designer. You know, like I would get designers to help me, you know. So yeah, that makes sense. Live to your strengths. But, and
you know, ever since I started publishing, I had to learn to do so many things by myself. Because when I published my first book, I thought, immediate millionaire.
Sorry, dude. I had the same thought when I opened my first business. I was like, gonna be a millionaire in 3 months.
That's what I thought. It's 4 years later, I'm not a millionaire. And I had to learn. I had my book launch. And everybody said, "Wow, we're so proud of you, But they're not buying books.
Yeah.
You know, they're not leaving reviews. It's just family and friends.
Yeah.
And then you have to learn, okay, this is how you publish books. This is the different ways you publish books. This is the different ways you market your books. I had to learn, okay, I have to now set up a email marketing scheme. I have to figure out how do I market it? How do I get people onto my email? So it's so much effort that you have to put in after actually writing and publishing a book. And that's basically why I got into book coaching, where it's these things that I've learned for the last 4 years, let me teach it to you within 6 months.
Yes.
6 months or less. So it's basically help you write, publish and sell your books within 6 months or less. So you don't have to go through all that stress of struggling. How do you get an ISBN? How do you set up a mailing list? You know, it's a lot of things that I had to learn.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I've done some of that stuff, you know, and like in the businesses I've been in, you set up mailing lists.
Yeah.
What's the right software to use? Which ones can you get the most for free?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, and then you spend time.
Yeah.
I mean, I look, even the editing of these, like the videos that I'm doing here, flipping hell, the first couple of videos, the editing took me like 20 hours. And then now
and you
it's
lose
like
money in the beginning.
Dude, I'll be losing money for 2 years on this podcast. But like I mean, I sit now and it's now getting quicker. So I've got like my presets for my audio and I know what I'm doing with the audio and I sample noise and I reduce and this and that. And that all took time to learn.
Yeah.
But like if I were to coach someone on how to start a podcast, or if someone were to come and say, hey, I want to start a podcast, can you help me? Geez, I can get them to where I am now within 2 weeks.
Exactly.
You know, and it's,
because
I mean, there's
you struggle
value
to
there.
figure it out yourself.
Exactly that, yeah. But I don't know, there's also something to be said about struggling, because I don't know, it makes the victory a bit sweeter.
Yes.
In my opinion, I think.
I know, I fully agree with you.
You know, it makes that victory a bit
Fully
sweeter.
agree.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me. Okay, you are a black belt in ninjitsu. Are you trying to be Naruto, bro?
I am Naruto. Well, actually, I'm Rock Lee. But anyway.
Rock Lee, that's fantastic.
So yeah, like I said, I have a lot of interests.
Yes.
And that's one thing I do when I speak professionally. I speak on how to build creativity in schools, how to build creativity in your business, because everybody wants their employees to be more creative.
For sure.
Because, you know, that helps problem solving and all those things. And one of my mottos is your interests are what makes you interesting. The more interests you have, the more interesting of a person you are and the more creative you are. So every interest that you can pursue, I guarantee you it will flow into your personality. It will flow into the products you put out. It will flow into your content, everything. So and martial arts has always been a interest of mine. So when I was younger, I always wanted to do martial arts. And again, my mother wasn't going to spend money in it. But I'm also the type of person, I don't like having my mother spend money on things that I want.
For sure. I get you.
Like my mother never paid for my studies, my varsity. I had bursaries throughout university. So when I was on university, I never asked for money or for food or things. I'd go the whole day without food till 5 o'clock when I get home. Then I'll eat. Because I don't like asking my mother for money. I want to be the one who gives her money.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to do karate or something and never could until I started working for myself and I started making money and I saw, hey, here's a poster and I found it in the donut shop.
Donut shop.
I found a poster for Ninjitsu.
Yeah.
I found the sensei. He had a small little place in the room and he only had like 4 students.
Yeah.
And he was struggling with those 4 students. And I came there. He had classes on a Monday evening. I told him, I really want to join, but I can't do any Monday evenings because I have prayer Monday evenings. And I'm not going to give up God for ninjitsu, you know. So, and I think at that moment he saw I'm actually somebody who we can, you know, there's always like if you're a teacher or a coach or boss, you know there's that one person you can rely on.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
So I think he saw that in me. So he decided, the first time he's meeting me, he decided that night he's going to change the dates to a Tuesday and a Thursday. And that was 8 years ago. And ever since then, I've been in the class.
Still doing Tuesdays and Thursdays.
He's a police officer. So a lot of times he works a night shift.
Okay.
So he can't be there at class. So I take the classes.
Yes.
Right? So he has two black belts, the one left, so it's just me now. And basically he relies on me for everything. Yeah. Because he knows he can trust me.
Yes.
And I think that's also the importance of first impressions, where people can see, can you trust this person? So ever since then I've been in Ninjitsu, and with that we go through tournaments. We're not allowed to have our own tournaments because Ninjitsu is basically playing dirty.
Right. Okay. I was going to ask you, what is ninjitsu? Like I've heard it mentioned. Yeah. Like, but
it's basically the art of being a ninja.
Okay.
Right. The art of being a ninja. If I had to talk of two shows that you can learn, so Naruto is one.
Yes.
It will teach you, and then another one is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Right. Because we use the 4 elements, but we have 5 forms. So we have the form of void, air, water, fire, earth. Void is the first thing we teach them. People will teach you. Void just means stay out of the fight.
Yes.
If a gangster comes up to you and says, hey, give me a phone, give the phone. Give the phone, save your life, done.
Yeah.
Right? Don't need to fight or anything. That's the first thing. The reason why we do the fighting section is, it's not if they want your body now, you know. Yes. Now you need to fight. Yeah. You're not gonna give that up.
Yeah.
So the first thing we do focus a lot on physical exercises, whereas in karate they focus a lot on technique. Yes, we focus a lot on physical exercises. How do you run? How do you escape? How do you climb walls? How do you roll? Basically, how do you get away? Yeah. That's the first thing we focus on.
So it's like running. Lesson 1: put your arms behind your back.
Yeah. But we focus a lot on sprints. We focus a lot on long distance. Yeah. So it's basically just body conditioning, because there's no way, I don't care what these other martial arts teachers, there's no way a 6-year-old child is going to beat a grown man in a fight. I don't care how well versed that 6-year-old child is in techniques. He's not going to beat this grown man in a fight. Right? So we teach that child, this is how you run away. Run. Yeah. Right? And then other techniques, doton, earth technique, pick up sand, throw it in their face.
Okay, so this is very... Okay, so I was waiting for this moment, because I was like trying to figure out, okay, cool. Is this a bunch of crazy O's running around in Mitchell's Plain trying to conjure fire,
No.
And I didn't think it was going there, but my brain kind of went there and was like,
so we can't have our own tournaments, but we participate in the karate tournaments, and a lot of times we win in those tournaments. Our children get black belts, not black belts, they get gold medals, because we do teach them how do you fight. How do you fight? So it's just difficult because we have to change it around for their rules.
Yes.
Because they obviously don't have the same rules as us. So we teach them this is how you fight. But our main focus is, first you focus on getting your body in shape. And then after that, this is your techniques. For our female students, we have techniques of a lot of female students they have to focus on. A lot of women in South Africa have to focus on, they get...
Yeah.
So we teach them that if you're in a situation where your guy has you pinned down, this is how you escape. So ninjutsu is basically the art of being a ninja. We do swords, we do shuriken, we do bow staff, how to fight with weapons, tonfas, batons, nunchucks. We do all of those weapons.
Yeah.
But the main thing is self-defense.
Fantastic.
That's the main aim.
So you mentioned the physical conditioning being one of the first things that you do. If you look at almost any sport or anything around the world, I watched a movie the other day about like a football team in America, American football.
Yeah.
And the new coach, it's this typical zero to hero, Mighty Ducks type story, and the coach comes in, the first thing he does, he takes the team and he pretty much takes all the balls away from them and all the kit away from them. And he's like, okay, cool. You guys going to run.
Yeah.
You guys are going to get fit. You're going to do push-ups.
Yeah.
You're going to do squats. You're going to do all of this. And he spends
Meet the
like,
Titans.
Meet the Titans type thing, where it's like, this is what you're going to do and you're not doing anything else. They play their first match and they haven't practiced football. All they've done is just conditioning. How much of it is conditioning?
I would say 50 to 75% is conditioning. Because when you're in a fight, a lot of times in your mind, because it's chaos, that techniques go out of the window.
Yeah.
The guy's not going to punch 1, 2 and then you know what to do. They're going to do crazy things.
Yeah.
So a lot of that times you have to focus on muscle memory. So that's why we do obviously techniques. Muscle memory. But the main thing is conditioning. Either you're going to be able to run away or you're going to have to overpower this person. Because technique is very important, especially for muscle memory.
Yes.
Right? But like in a fight, it's chaos.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, I haven't been in many fights. I mean, like 2, maybe 3. And most of the time, like I'm a salesman, so I talk my way out of. I don't fight out of a fight. I've got the void thing, and it works in my mouth. Kind of. But yeah, it is. It's amazing how when you get that first bit of adrenaline, you kick into a base mode. It's like you stop thinking with like your higher brain, and it comes with like a lower brain thing, or I don't know what the right terminology would be, but like it becomes a different a different space, a different place of being almost.
I was in the tournament now in May, right? Before the tournament, when we were sparring, I had bruises all over my body. I'm talking about I was sparring with a girl. She gave me a light kick. I blocked it. Right? My arm was aching. My legs, but like I had a bruise on every leg, a bruise on every arm. I was aching. I went to the tournament with those same bruises.
Yeah.
And when the adrenaline kicked in,
you don't feel it.
I felt nothing. Right? So you need to get your body conditioning up where they hurt you, they kick you, they hit you, you feel nothing. That's basically what body conditioning is. So one of the elements, earth is basically focusing on your bones, getting yourself strong, where if somebody kicks you hard, you can just stand and take it and then you go. Right? So like I was fighting this guy in the full contact match, and this is a big guy, right? He's a big guy. Everybody's bigger than me. I don't know.
You are a smaller guy.
They're all bigger than me, but I'm fighting this big guy, right? And my ninjutsu kicks in because it's karate, and he has those massive arms, and he's just throwing. He didn't throw one kick. He just knew this is where his power. He's punching, and my punch is doing nothing to this guy. He's punching, and I just block, and I waited for my opportunity. So that blocking is your earth, so I'm blocking, and I saw after that fourth punch, he's a little tired, and there's a stack. All I did was grab him behind the neck, knee in the gut. He was down. Yeah. Right? But then they told me I kicked him in the groin. I don't believe I kicked him in the groin, but but he was down, Yes. And in a fight, perfect.
Yes.
That's muscle memory, because we practice that. Yeah. We practice. Wait till the opportunity comes. Block. Wait till then you go for your strike. Right? Get that one perfect strike in. That's what you must do, and that's what I did.
Winner. Jeez, man. That's I mean, and that's also just like that brain power thing, that sort of just being aware of your surroundings, watching for the watching for the things. You know,
Yeah.
like it was like, okay, cool. You saw a pattern there. You're like, okay, the guy
Exactly.
punches 1, 2, 3, 4. Then he takes a break, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. It's, yeah.
That's all muscle memory from training.
Mm.
But it's just difficult when you go to a tournament and there are rules.
Yes.
You know? So
Yeah.
now you know, okay, I can't do this.
Yeah.
We train to hit in your face.
Yeah.
Now we can't hit in the face.
Mm.
In the karate tournament, you're not allowed to hit in the face. You can kick in the face. You can't hit in the face.
You can kick in the face,
Yeah,
but you can't hit in the face.
Yeah, you can kick in the face because it's harder to get a kick in the face.
Okay.
You know?
I mean,
It's so easy
sure.
to just
Yeah,
do this in somebody's face. But to actually get a kick in their
Yeah,
face,
yeah.
it's difficult. So they allow that.
Yeah, but the damage from a kick to the face is
I've
must
got
be
kicked in the
more
face. It's not as hard as you think.
easy, like writing books. Jeepers. Okay. All right. You've won a couple of awards for your books, or for a
No.
book, or something. Or
No,
what is
I
it?
almost won an award.
Okay.
So that adventure comedy novel
Yep.
is called The Gloat, Gloat.
Yep.
Greatest loser of all time. The search for Mokele Mbembe.
Okay.
Right? So I'm a biologist,
Mm-hmm.
and what I love is I love to study about cryptic species. So basically, species that we haven't discovered,
Mm-hmm.
but might be.
So Loch Ness monster,
Exactly,
Yeti,
right?
Bigfoot,
Yes,
all
so
that. Okay.
I was watching a documentary, and there was a documentary of this dinosaur that might still be in the Congo. Right?
This is why you want to go to
That's
the
why I
Congo.
want to
You want to go
to
hunt a
Congo,
dinosaur
right?
in the Congo.
Exactly. So there's a dinosaur that might be in the Congo because
Yeah.
the Congo is 70% undiscovered.
Yeah.
They call it the dark world,
Yes.
right? And there's 7 cryptic species in the Congo. They were in the documentary. They said they went to the pygmies and they showed them this book of dinosaurs, and the pygmies will say no, they haven't seen these things, but then they will point out 2 that they have seen, and they say no, we see these 2 on a regular basis, right? And you're like, okay, it might be, you know. And you have heard of people that go and they say they've seen it, or they've seen signs, or they've seen a footprint, but there's nothing on the camera, you know, and that's why they call it the cryptic species. And
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean that Finding Bigfoot
yeah,
is
Exactly.
19 series.
You
so
know what I mean?
19 years and 19 seasons in, and they
And
still,
nobody-
hey bro, they haven't even heard a Bigfoot fart yet, bro.
so now the idea is either because a lot of people say when they go there and the cameras that fuzz out because of the condensation of how hot and damp it is,
Yeah,
and a
this
lot of people
excuses.
a lot of people will say it's the government that takes their cameras off. In either way, I want to go.
Yes.
Right? Even if I don't find this thing,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of money I can make off a documentary
No, for sure. Bro.
of being there
Yeah.
for a month expedition into the Congo.
See, now you must get Elon Musk to sponsor you one of
You
those
know?
satellite things,
Yeah.
and then you stream it, right? And then no one can take your footage from you,
Exactly,
bro. Now
right?
you-
So that's what I want. Right?
Yeah.
And that was 2021, I was a student.
Mhm.
No money, couldn't go. I checked actually how much it cost for the expedition. For a 10-day expedition, it was $10,000.
Yes.
I had no money, definitely could not do it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, if I can't go, let me write about a book about somebody who does go.
Okay.
And just for fun, let me make this guy a loser. So basically, in my mind, a loser is somebody who has a lot of potential that doesn't pursue it.
Okay.
Right? So he's a loser. This guy has a lot of potential. He's a bragger. He's a gloater. That's why it's the gloat. He loves to gloat. He loves to brag. He's selfish. He takes risks, unnecessary risks. But he finds out about this expedition to the Congo, where he can go for free, and he goes on it. And in his mind, it's basically just I'm there just to prove that I am as great as I think I am. That's what he's doing.
Yes, yeah,
So it's a whole lot of comedy things. He's taking unnecessary risks. He goes with a big boombox to the jungle. He does everything unnecessarily. Puts his whole team at risk just to prove that he can do these things that he says he can do.
Yeah.
So it's a comedy adventure, and I put that in for a award. And awards are difficult, because a lot of times you need to pay to enter the awards, or you need to send free copies of your book, like physical copies. And posting these books is expensive.
Yep.
But luckily, I found this award where all you need to do is submit an e-copy.
Okay.
and there's no prize and everything.
Mm.
So for that award, I came top 5.
Fantastic.
What's called the Author Elite Awards. I came top 5. Unfortunately, I didn't win it, but top 5 is
Top 5 is
pretty
good, bro.
good,
Jeez, yeah. I don't know. I think people focus so much on. I see it in the entrepreneurial space. People focus so much on being number one.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be the boss because they think the boss is the oak. And I talk to people about it, and they go, "Oh, Des, I know I can be a good boss." But then I'm working my own time and I'm working my own this. No, you're not, pal. Talk to any bra that owns a business.
Exactly.
That bra is there first.
Yeah.
He works the last. When in the beginning, when the toilet gets blocked, he's the oak there unblocking it because there's no money or whatever to hire someone or, you need to figure out how to send a mailer out. You're the guy doing it. You said earlier how you are, doing this. And, I remember this one oak that I spoke to, just chatting to him. He was like, "Oh no, man," he was a foreigner. And he's chatting, "No, I'm going to be number one." It sounds a little gloatish. And I sat with him and myself and another entrepreneur, I just had a conversation with him. I said, "Right, bro, let me tell you quickly about what goes into it."
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I'll just pay people to do it for me. And I was like, well, yeah, cool. One day, sure.
Yeah.
Right now, I set up my studio. I do
all the work.
I've got to put the stands up and this and that and test the microphones and make sure the camera's in the right angle.
Yeah.
If I could hire someone to do that for me, I'll save myself
5
hours a week. 5 hours a week, I can, I don't know, I can possibly make $10,000 or $5,000 or $2,000 or,
But you must be realistic.
You got to be realistic about it. Yeah.
I call myself the 90% man. Because whenever I set a goal, I never reach it 100%. So, if I think of high school, when I got my matric certificate, I was valedictorian, and my goal was to get 7 code 7s. I got 6 code 7s.
Yeah.
And the last one, which is actually English, I got 79%. So missed it by 1%. Right? With the goal to write 10 books in 1 year, couldn't get to 10, got to 9. I had a goal. I want to walk from Mitchell's Plain to Ceres, right? In 2 days. I got into the Ceres municipality, but not into the Ceres town.
Yes.
Right? 90% of the way. Every time I set a goal, it's just basically you get in there 90% of the way.
Yes.
Which is
it's still good.
Something good.
That's a pass.
It's always just so close, but never actually getting it.
What is the idea around walking to Ceres?
I just wanted to.
I love that answer.
I just wanted to. I've always wanted to, because in my books, in these books I'm reading and the books I'm writing, these people are always going on long journeys. I watch Lord of the Rings. I see this Frodo on this long journey. I'm thinking, Frodo, you were weakling to fall so much. Frodo, I hate Frodo. I'm telling you, right? Frodo, he's constantly falling. Man,
Samwise was the guy.
Sam was the guy.
Sam was the guy, bro.
So, but. And I see these things and I thought, I've always wanted to go on a long journey, just walking. And I wanted to go to Limpopo. That was my first goal. I wanted to take a walk to Limpopo. And my mother told me,
that's a bitchy fair.
Try someplace closer first.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I chose Ceres. I know nobody in Ceres. It was just on a whim. Okay, I'll try Ceres.
That's a nice place,
right? Right. And then I don't even know. I know I've been there before, but it was like when I was a child.
Yeah. They've got a clump oranges out.
So that's the only thing I know of Ceres. So I decided, okay, let me go to Ceres.
Yeah.
I set a date, 19th December. The reason why I chose that date was because school holidays.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to walk immediately after school. I wanted to take the Monday.
Yes.
All right. So I thought, okay, 2 to 3 days. That's how much I will do. And I walked. So it was basically just because I wanted to. I walked. I took my first break, like a 5-minute break here at Access Park, Kales River. So I walked from Mitchell's Plain up the R300 Access Park, Kales River. I gave my dog water, so it was just me and my dog. From there, I walked onto the N1.
Yeah.
That's where I took my second break by that shade of trees, and that's where I started feeling the pain actually. From there, I walked to the in-one that garage
Yes.
on there. And that's where I felt, oh, I'm tired. I could feel it in my legs. I took a nap on the grass with my dog, gave him some food. And my back was aching because I was carrying tins of dog food in my bag. Right? So I gave him food. We took a nap there. And when I stood up, I regretted that nap because my legs started aching. And then it was the long walk to Paul. I slept at Paul at night. I got there 6 o'clock the night. The people at the engine garage was nice. They let me sleep in the toilet.
Okay.
So me and my dog, slept on cardboard.
Yeah.
Right? 5 o'clock in the morning, I was up. I walked from Paul to Wellington. That took me 3 hours. I gave that the morning of Paul. I gave the dog all the dog food because I didn't want to carry these things in my bag anymore. So when I got to Wellington, I just had to buy him KFC, and then I bought KFC for him for us to eat there, and then I bought extra for the walk, and then it's Baines Kloof Pass, and then Baines Kloof Pass is what killed me.
Yeah, that's uphill, huh?
Because these other ones I can stop at shops along the way.
Yeah.
There's people I can talk to along the way. There's cars. But that Baines Kloof Pass, even the uphill was not even the problem. The second day was super hot because it's December.
Oh, yes.
Super hot. It is uphill, but that uphill didn't bother me as much as the heat because my dog started overeating. And when every time he overeats, I have to find a place of shade.
Yeah.
And when we sit down, then the pain comes back. So you have to get used to the pain. There's nobody. It's like every maybe an hour you'll see a car come past. So it's very rare you see, and there's no place for you to actually walk. So when a car comes past, you're standing on the side, So I'm walking there it's hot. We worried about what if a troop of baboons come past. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about my dog. You know. So those are the things I'm worried about. I didn't get hungry once.
Sure.
Right. I gave my dog the food. I got thirsty, so I drank, but I didn't get hungry once. And it's just like, and I'm limping. I've been limping since Paul. I'm limping. My phone is dead now. My watch, I had a foot watch, and I'm measuring like how far I'm walking and how long it's gonna be. I estimated I'm gonna get there at 8 o'clock, and now I'm limping. And every time I have to take a break, I look. Okay, it's gonna be 9 o'clock now. It's gonna be 10 o'clock. It's gonna be 11 o'clock. When I got into Ceres municipality, it was about 10 o'clock, and it was pitch black. There's no lights on that road. There's no lights on that road.
Yeah.
So, and I got into the Ceres municipality. I crossed that river. I'm not sure what the river is. Me and my dog took a nap on the side of the road, 30-minute nap. When I woke up, I couldn't walk. When I said my left knee couldn't bend at all, my right ankle was swollen. I couldn't feel my toes. I put my phone on. I had a power bank, but I put my phone on for that last 2%. So I'm in the municipality, and my family drove past me. My family drove past me, so they're meeting me in Ceres basically.
Yes.
So I phoned them. I told them, guys, I can't walk. Send somebody to pick me up. This is where I am. But I tried to drag my leg on. So I dragged my leg on for like a kilometer before they actually met me. But when I got into the car and the adrenaline died down, and I just realized, wait, man. I asked them, why is it so cold in the car? They said, no, it's not cold. I realized, I got a fever. I'm sick. I got sunburn. All that pain. I was limping and dragging my body. But when I got out of the car, I took a step and I fell down. Couldn't walk anymore. Right? It's because that adrenaline is gone. Your mind knows it's over.
Yeah, it's
so
over.
My brother
now
had
you
to
give
carry
up.
me into the car. I
Yeah.
literally couldn't walk. He carried me to the couch. I sat there for a while. Then from the couch, he carried me to the bed because I literally couldn't walk after that.
Yeah. Did you train for this or not?
I didn't train.
You see, this is why, dude. I'm with you.
Because in my mind it is, I
It's
jog.
just walking.
I jog every day. I jog at least 3 kilometers every day.
Jogging's not walking, pal.
So I thought, if I have to do it again, that
Yeah.
was basically 60 kilometers every day walking.
Yeah,
If I do it
yeah.
again, I won't do 60 kilometers. I'll do like 20k every month, every day.
Every day, yeah.
20 to 30k. Then I'll probably be able to do it. But that's
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
I've had the reason why I'm actually interested is like during COVID when I was doing, I called my YouTube channel Challenge Life because I'm going to challenge myself.
Yeah.
Cool. And one of the thoughts, I never did it, but my parents, my mom now lives in Pearly Beach, which is past Gansbaai. And it's like when I lived in Somerset West, it was like 149 Ks or 169 Ks,
Yeah.
which doesn't seem far. 2.5 hours in the car.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, and I thought, yes, man, I want to walk. You know,
Yeah.
I want to do it, you know.
Yeah.
But thought I could maybe do it in one day, but I don't know if that's going to be a thing.
Do you know when I realized I'm actually walking far? Because the Paul didn't feel far to me.
Yeah.
And Wellington didn't feel far. When I walk past, there's a pool that they always take our school to.
Okay.
What's this pool's name? Antoinesvlei.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place called Antoinesvlei that when we always take the children on the bus to, and it's a long drive on the bus basically.
Yeah.
Right? Because the children were excited. When I walked and I say, hey, I'm actually walking past this place. That's when I realized, hey, I'm walking far.
Yeah.
But it's not the when I posted the video, because my cousin he came there to me at 5 o'clock in the morning. He did a small video. Then he followed me like 2-3 kilometers up R300. Then he went to work.
Yeah.
Then the night he drove to Paul, took a video of me, and went back to right.
Jeez,
and then when
cousin,
they drove up to Ceres, so they drove past me. They took a small video of me walking, and then they went back. Right. So when I posted the video, that video got over like 240,000 views on Facebook.
Yo.
Right. And what people don't understand is people love somebody who's willing to do crazy things on their own.
This was
their own.
Bro, this was my idea.
That's it.
This was my idea.
Because that's
bro,
what
I'm with you.
People, they love people who are courageous enough to do alone.
Crazy, yeah.
Because everybody's like, I will do it if you go with me. I'll do it if...
Yeah,
if,
but
you must be able to sit down and do these things alone.
We are, I mean, not to be funny, that's Survivor South Africa, bro.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing. It's dangerous.
I'm walking across all these places.
Yeah. I mean, I look at going, so if I'm going to go to Pearly Beach, I'm going to walk past Grabo.
Exactly.
That little spot, that little road there is dangerous. Elgin or whatever else. And
that's why I took my dog with me.
You're just dropping there by yourself. Now you've got maybe a GoPro and a cell phone and all of this stuff on you. All it takes is one bro to come up and be like, hey, bro.
I had a knife with me, and then my other idea was, okay, if it's multiple people, then what I'm gonna do is I'll take the latch of my dog, and then I'll use the metal part as a whip, That is my idea to because nunchucks.
Not for sure.
But people love people who do courageous things on their own.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do something where somebody joins you, That's basically that's gangs. That's what gangs do basically. Right? But if you're willing to sit down and do something on your own, that's why people love the fact that I wrote 9 books in 1 year, because it's me alone every night, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. It's me alone. That's why people love people who write books, because you're doing it alone. Yeah. Right? But if you're courageous enough to do something on your own, and you don't care about if other people is with you, you just want to do this on your own. Yeah, that's something that people always applaud.
Yeah,
they always
for sure.
I had so much people in my comments saying, "Wow, guy, you should have taken me with. Next time, let's go together." I'm thinking, do you really think I want you to go with me? I don't know you. Do you? What's stopping you from doing it yourself? Yeah, that's
I think. I mean, look, for me, like the danger part of it is definitely a factor. Yeah. So and I've plotted my little walk to Pearly Beach 1,000 different ways and 1,000 different times.
You should do it, man.
I'm gonna do it. I started about a month and a bit ago. I started the 75 hard challenge thing, and I failed miserably.
But you did it.
But I started. Yeah. So I've carried on with it. I got a migraine headache on week 4, and it just floored me, and I couldn't exercise and whatever. So I've kind of carried on as much as I could do, and which is cool. And so I've got a mate of mine who's doing it as well. And I thought, maybe one of the things I want to do is walk, because I've been walking as one of my exercises every day. I love walking. And I walk 5K, it's not far, but I'm like, hey, 5K, all I need to do is that 6 or 7 times in a day. Exactly. And cool, you can do a trip out to, that's how the world is. It's 3 or 4 days or 3 days, and it's a weekend. It's not that hard, Leave after work or something on a Friday night, you get there Sunday.
Exactly.
That kind of thing. So in terms of that, it's nothing. And then I was like, okay, cool. If I time it correctly, then I can walk past the dangerous places during the day Number one, when it's sunlight. And then also then for maybe that spot, you have a friend join you. Just for that,
you can
for
do
that,
also,
you know, for that space or whatever else, you know, and like for all the Lani Oaks, they got that discovery guarding thing or whatever. You can just get ADT to come walk with you.
Exactly.
I don't think so, but but I thought about it. I was like, yo, if I get home security, you know, they'll send a security guard if you're scared or something, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, hey, I'm walking to Geboia. Can you send someone? No, I won't.
That's why I wanted to do the solo camping. 5 days, just me, nothing with me, just a knife basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Where did you go for the solo camping? Let's see if you did this clever or dumb. Let's
So I went to Kochelberg Mountains, then near Betty's Bay.
Yes.
Because I have family in Betty's Bay.
Okay.
So I figured, if I have to like escape or something, then I have people nearby, you know?
Yeah.
So I went there, but I didn't think of it, you know. So I went up the mountain. It was December, and you know that area is very prone to fires.
Yes.
So that's why the ranger said, no, I can't be here.
Okay.
You know, because obviously I'm gonna have to make fire at night. You know, so that was the reason why I said no. But one thing I want to do is there's like a walk that you can do from the tip of South Africa, up through the whole of Africa, through Europe, Asia, into Russia.
Yes.
Right? That's the longest walk you can do.
Yeah.
And I checked out the time. It will take at least 3 to 4 years to do that walk.
Yeah.
I would do it. But the problem is, you know, you got family. You got a business to run. You got, you know.
Yeah.
It's nice to think about.
Did you check? I can't remember his name. I listened to the Diary of a CEO podcast where he had that orange-haired British guy that ran from Cape Town to London. It took him like just under a year.
Is it?
Yeah, I'll see. I'll find it for you like before you leave. I'll show it to you. You'll lose your mind when you check this out. But he ran. He got kidnapped. Like in I don't know. I think it was in the Congo. He actually got kidnapped.
You gotta go through these crazy places.
Yeah. So he ended up getting kidnapped. The Oaks took him. They held him for ransom. Like Oaks had to come and pay money to get him out and all of that. But he ran. Like every day he was running like 30 or 40K or something or 50K or whatever it was. And I mean, the bro looked like he's that Oak Forrest Gump. He looked at the hair and everything else, and he's just running, bro. And it's crazy.
I know this guy. I heard it on the radio. This guy who was trying to cycle through the whole of Africa. And
there's a guy I saw. There's been a few Oaks that have done it lately.
But when he got to Cape Town, so they stole his bike. It was hilarious because it was one of those super posh bikes, you know. Yeah. And it has like it measures his things and all things, and it got stolen.
That's funny.
Yes.
I want to ask you a question that I haven't prepped you at all for this because I've enjoyed the conversation. This is what I aim for. What to you, your opinion or your whatever, but what does growing a pair, that's the name of the podcast, Grow a Pair Podcast, what does growing a pair mean to you?
Get yourself some balls. That was my when I read the name, I was mine was grow some balls, be a man. Don't
expand on that. What does it actually mean
for me? To me is if you wanna be a man and you wanna grow a pair of balls, it means if you have a goal, go and chase that goal. Don't be a weakling or a wimp or the greatest loser of all time who has this potential, but you don't chase after it. You have these ideas, you don't do anything. You say, I have a business idea, I just need somebody to fund me, you know. I was listening to Vusi Tembakwayo. He says, if you have an idea, but you want somebody to fund you, you're not an entrepreneur. Because an entrepreneur will make it work with his own funding. You'll go work, wash cars and something, get money to start it. Because people don't fund you for a startup. They fund you once they've seen you've actually tried. So grow some balls. Do something that you enjoy, that you want to pursue. What about nobody? Just do something that's going to actually set you apart, that you don't have to worry about if other people are joining you. You need friends to join you. Do it on your own if you have to. That's what it means to me.
Fantastic. Carl, thank you so much. We've been chatting now for an hour and 5 minutes.
Wow.
Goes quicker. Goes quick. Yeah. Thank you so much. This has been great. You've done so much. You actually are an inspiration.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, I know you want to do a walk alone. Maybe one day you and me will take a
We should.
a 200k walk or a
Sure.
150k walk or something. We'll go and trap together and
Exactly.
document the
Well, we
whole
must
thing.
eat from the land.
Yeah,
That's
we can do that.
something
We figure it out, bro. We can figure it out. I know how to hunt rabbits, bro. Okay, I can do that. But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll get you on the podcast again soon. And good luck with all your ventures and your books and everything else. And yeah,
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
absolute
Love the
pleasure.
talk.
Thank you so much, man. Like a go pair.